name is Jerry Gonzalez, a resident of DeKalb County and Executive Director of GALEO, an organization focused upon enhancing civic engagement and leadership development of the Latino community across the state of Georgia. In 2010, we were also the lead organization for a very successful census outreach effort called the Georgia Latino Complete Count Committee. Through these collaborative efforts, we ensured greater participation of the Latino and immigrant population during the last census. Between 2000 and 2010, Georgia's population grew from 8.2 million to 9.7 million, an increase of 18%. During the same period, the Latino population nearly doubled by growing from 435,000 to 854,000, an increase of 96%. The increase in Georgia's Latino population contributed significantly to the state's overall growth during the last decade. Between 2000 and 2010, the Latino population increase accounted for 28% of the state's total population growth. Let me repeat this because it is important. Between 2000 and 2010, the Latino population increase accounted for 28% of the state's total population growth. Between 2000 and 2010, the Latino share of the population grew from 5% to 9%. Latinos comprised 13% of all Georgians under 18. In 2010, Georgia's Latino population was significantly younger than the non-Latino population. Over 1/3 of Latino Georgians were under 18 compared to 1/4 of non-Latinos. Census 2010 data reveal that many of Georgia's 10 largest counties have significant Latino populations. The Latino share of these counties' population ranges from 4% in Richmond County to 20% in Gwinnett County. Additionally, the 7 largest Georgia counties are also home to the state's largest Latino communities: Fulton, Gwinnett, DeKalb, Cobb, Chatham, Clayton, and Cherokee counties. The state's 10 largest counties are home to over half, approximately 57%, of its Latino population, with 19% of the total Latino population residing in Gwinnett County. For example, we have Gwinnett County, a total population of 805,000, with Latino share of that being about 20.1%. Some places in Gainesville, Dalton, and the Chamblee-Doraville area also contain significant population representation of the Latino community. It is essential that Latinos have an equal voice in redistricting to ensure that our community has a fair opportunity to elect candidates of choice. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 prohibits racial discrimination in voting practices in all federal, state, and local elections. Redistricting is a change in election law because it changes the districts for the purposes of elections. All redistricting plans must comply with the Federal Voting Rights Act. Given the hostility of Georgia's anti-immigrant and anti-Latino legislative initiatives like the most recent HB 87, it is important that the Latino community be able to fairly influence the outcome of elections to select candidates of their choice for representation. This is critically important to ensure candidates and/or elected officials will be responsive and respectful of Latinos within their districts. For example, one can look at recent testimony during the debate on Georgia's anti-immigrant law, HB 87. Georgia Senator Renee Unterman, a Republican from Buford, took to the well to provide a speech in the Senate chambers. She then proceeded to embarrass herself, the Georgia Senate, the Georgia General Assembly, and our state of Georgia. These were some of her comments when debating HB 87 and urging for its passage. She complained about how Gwinnett has changed dramatically, and she moans about the changing demographics. In her testimony, she stated that she believed many of the people who have been the reason for the change in Gwinnett County could be attributed to people who came to the nation illegally. She also complains about having to absorb all of the, quote, illegal kids, end of quote, in the Gwinnett public school system, despite the fact that the children have federally protected access to K-12 education regardless of their immigration status. She also mentions she gets calls from constituents about the hospital emergency rooms and how they are crowded because of illegal immigrants. Of course, there is no way to tell who is an undocumented immigrant by just looking at a person. In that speech, Senator Renee Unterman relies upon racial profiling of her constituents with the belief that if one is Latino, then the person must be, quote, an illegal immigrant. She blames illegal immigrants for a hospital's financial burdens. She also believes that these illegal immigrants do not contribute to the tax base and do not share the burden of paying for the public hospital.
We don't mind taking care of people. Let's just take care of our own people that are here legally. So you can throw out those words, the inflammatory words about spewing hate and not caring about people. I truly care about people, but I want to take care of our people. I don't want to take care of Mexico's people.
And finally, she speaks about Gwinnett County's 287G program in partnership with immigration. She credits it a success because she rides down the street, she says, and quote, I don't see as many people that are foreign because they've scattered. They are scared to death to be there in Gwinnett County now. End of quote.
And I can tell when I ride down the street, I don't see as many people that are foreign because they've scattered. They're scared to death to be there in Gwinnett County now.
Georgia Senator Renee Unterman, the Republican from Buford, was an embarrassment to our state during her comments in the well with the debate on HB 87. However, she does illustrate the anti-immigrant and anti-Latino hostility that exists in our state, even with some of our elected officials. Due to this environment, it is even more important to ensure that the Latino electorate's voice will not be diluted nor compacted in the redistricting process in order to have an equal and fair opportunity to influence elections for candidates of their choice. During the legislative process, I will be submitting video testimony and a transcript of Georgia Senator Renee Unterman as proof of anti-Latino sentiment and to ensure this goes on record for Georgia's redistricting plans. Thank you.